Hi everyone, welcome back to Best Moves in Go History. I'm your host Ryan, and today we're back with Mok Jin-seok, 9-dan professional. Mo老师, what do we have about today?
Hi everyone.
What are we going to talk about today?
Another game I played against Sedol, and I'm gonna show you two games that I played with him. And this two game is related with ladder.
Oh,
so
back to ladders again.
Yeah, ladder is one of the simple thing in Go, but we make mistakes about ladder. So if we have time, we can talk about other things about ladder or about anything.
Of course. Well, why don't we see... Well, I don't see any ladders with this game.
Yes. And first of all, this is the game played in 2015. It was GS Cup, quarterfinal of GS Cup, which is quite important because GS Cup is one of the biggest domestic tournaments in Korea. And Sedol played with black, I was white. So until this point, we had a fight in upper right corner in the beginning, and some fight here, but relatively calm game considered to our usual intense fights. So it was relatively calm game, and until this point I was leading by few points. I had more territory than black, so he played here, means Sente. I had to answer it, and then he could play some end games, and if I played here and just play normal end game, I think white could win without many problems. So, but I played here, which is I saw that if black cut and Atari, the ladder is good for white because I had only 2 stones here. I thought I could just escape this 1 stone, or I could just cut this one and get a Sente and play this huge end game. Maybe that was better, of course, and that was not my plan, and that was not what I did. So I played this one, directly escape from the ladder, and he played Atari, and I escaped. Obviously, you can see ladder is good for white. I can escape. So I thought, no problem, why not? And he played this.
Whoa! Oh.
And until this point, I couldn't realize what's happening. I mean, I thought he would. Oh, this one is. For your information, it's quick game. You have to play 40 in 40 seconds every move.
Oh, that's very fast.
Yes, fast game. So I played this one.
Oh, that was a Sente to get more time.
And play this. And I thought, okay, if he play here and Atari, and even if black could Atari here, I could connect. And if black connect this side, Atari Sente,
right.
So I can connect. Or even if black connects here, I make sure this group is safe, and leather is still good for white. And when black tries to catch a whole group, I could cut here, so I could either capture this one stone or these two stones. So no problem. That was my thought. That was my reading. And he even tried this one. And then I realized I knew something is wrong. Something is really wrong. I found that if I play here, he's not Atari this. He's not play this. He's played this one, which is I didn't expect it. I didn't expect. And if I double Atari here, this one is Sente. And he played this one first, so he could Atari this. And I have only one eye with this group. So whole this huge group will die.
Wow,
and
it's
then
nice to Suji there.
I thought, oh my god, what did I do? I cannot escape anymore. So what I did was, give up. I mean, just stop doing stupid things and played this end game. And there's a video clip that it was played.
Yeah, let's actually go and watch that video clip right now. So as you can see here, this is the live broadcast from. Is this Battle TV?
Right.
Oh, so we see the Mu Laoshi playing the time move there. And so you said you didn't realize at this point yet?
At this point, no, I didn't realize.
So, but you also.
Gonna...
But I'm curious because you played the time Suji there, the move to gain more time there. But that's before, and that's because you didn't know what Lee Sedol was doing with the attachment.
I was thinking just he kept Atari and that variation. I didn't expect he can do other things.
Okay, and then when we saw just right there, Lee Sedol thinking, he looks scary. Oh, you also look very calm.
At this point, yes. And you will see my reaction after that.
Okay. Oh, and we see the commentator. We see a mouse there.
Right. Commentator found.
He saw it. He's showing us that now.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and there's Sedol playing the move.
And then when he Atari'd, I was going to just play immediately, and then I found it.
Oh, wow.
Something is wrong. Because there's no way if black is, there's no way he played this Atari if black leather is not good for black. So I thought, oh, this one, he played this one, something's wrong, or something is really wrong.
Oh, it's a good time to realize, I think, and that really says for everyone, even with obvious moves like Atari's, and even though the ladder clearly doesn't work for your opponent, you should think about what your opponent is doing there before answering.
And as you can see later, I realized that I did something stupid. I slapped my head.
Is that a wake-up slap? It's interesting that before we talked about when you told us about your experience in the LG Cup when you weren't happy. I think this really shows the other side, right? Because here you're staying very calm, and even though losing the 3 stones is obviously a bad thing, but just playing the correct, choosing the right decision, the best move in this local situation.
So yeah, I could control myself to control my mind to calm myself, and luckily I could manage to win this game even after this happening, and because I was leading by a few, I don't know, 5 points. So even though I lost a few points in center, usually if you let your opponent capture this 3 stone like this, it's huge impact. But at this game, board is already small, and there's no such a place to make huge difference. So the lucky thing was I could play last huge end game on lower left corner, so I could come down and close out the match. Fortunately, so after this huge mistake, it was lucky that I could win this match.
Very fun moment there, and I'm really glad that this that you showed us this.
Okay, this is another game I played against Sedol. This is our last game played each other so far. Maybe he could come back later and play another game, but so far this is our last game we played against each other, and it was last year, 2019, and also this is GS Cup. So if you look at the board, I was playing with black, and Lisette was white. If you look at the board, there's a huge core here. It's really big and important. If white wins the core, this whole black group will be in danger, and it's already a huge point for black if black wins the core. So he played here, which was not a good move, but it made game even more interesting. Actually, he could use other core threat. He could play here or here. He had other core threats, but he played here instead, which wasn't really a core threat. I could ignore that, and if I cut here to attack this black's group on right side, I could capture it first, and I could try to escape. It's not going to die. So then,
does the wedge here work N11 for black?
I'm sorry.
Can black play instead of this move N11?
Here, this one wedge.
Yeah.
Okay, if I wedge, connect, cut, Atari, and Atari and connect at the same time. I cannot cut. So I could ignore this core thread, but I was thinking other things. Actually, if you look at the bottom side, before white played this one, actually there's one stone Atari, and I could think about this. I could think about escape this ladder. But now it's not working. It's ladder is good for white now. White Atari from this side, and ladder is good for white. And in actual game, when I captured this call, he played this, and I thought this is bad exchange because after I play here, and I can escape this ladder now. So that's exactly what I played in the actual game. And of course, white Atari here. And now, I made the same mistake, similar mistake to, last game. I was planned to escape this one, and what happens if I play here? White could Atari, and still ladder is not good for white now because there's a ladder break here. So that was my initial thought, but I realized that later that white could play this side and this side, Atari, and make a tiger's mouth. And if I connect and white capture this, can you see what happened here? This whole group, even if it's connected, I have only one eye, half eye here and half eye here. So this whole black group will die if I escape this ladder.
Wow.
And that's when I realized that when he attacked this one, and I realized I did it again. I cannot escape this.
Wait, sorry, could you go back to the variation again?
Okay.
Was there a potential for black to make another eye later?
Okay. You mean after black connect here and here, black can make another eye?
Yeah.
Let's see. This one is Sente. And capture is Sente and make an eye. Oh, there's another eye here. You can play this one, right? And if white play this, you can play. Oh, okay. Let me check again.
Finally, I asked a good question.
Okay, but yeah, black can make another eye. Wow, I didn't know that. But actually, yeah, black made a second eye, and this group is safe. But the another group on the bottom is in danger. I mean, this group will die instead. But thank you for let me know that this whole group can live. Actually, I didn't know that.
Oh, but I think I missed the important point here. Yeah, the important point is that even though the ladder doesn't work for white, but white can get Sente and still continue. I thought I asked a good question, but never mind.
Really good question. I didn't know that until today. So,
and you were saying you realized that the escaping the ladder was bad after you played the move.
Yeah, and I played this one, and when he Atari, and then I realized again I did the same thing, same thing to last one, and this time I wasn't as lucky as last time, so I played this one, and he played this as a co-threat, and I have no co-threat left, except I could play this one as a escape code, ladder as a co-threat, but it is crazy thing, it will cost too many points. So in actual game I ignored and he cut, and turned out this whole group in right side was in danger, and when I Hane, he could play this one instead just Hane because I made a really bad exchange here in the center, so he could play this one and he could.
Now we see the now we see the exchange here at M11 and N11 that helped White fix the weakness.
Right, and I even exchanged this one. This exchange in on the bottom. So
oh yeah, running the ladder, right?
So yeah, this game. Few moves later, I resigned because this whole group on the right side died. So that was another ladder variation, and we have interesting ladder history. So this was the last one, and it was really intense and fun match, and so
very interesting. I think from these two games, I think when you say the mistake is simple, I think that's only on your standards because when you showed us, it took I think 20 moves for each variation for us to actually see that. But I think it's very worth demonstrating because, of course, in an actual game, only the players know what's going on. And now we have the pleasure of actually knowing what actually goes on inside the game. In the player's
totally
head.
Worth demonstrating because I didn't know that this whole group can make a second eye. Thank you for mentioning that.
And the second moral of the story is when you ask a question, you think it's a good question, make sure you're paying attention to the whole board too.
Right. Oh, it was good.
Well, thank you so much for showing us these two games. I think the time is running out, but I think we have time for one quick question from the audience.
Okay.
Is if, say, for a lot of Go fans in the U.S., they they have to work and they have many other things going on. If for like an average player between let's say around 5Q or 10Q or 1 Dan, what do you think would be the best way of allocating their time? Let's say if they have 5 hours per week, what's the best? How would you recommend that they spend their time to improve or study Go?
Okay. First of all, I recommend or I suggest play a lot with opponent who is same level as you or slightly better than you. In this case, if you play with someone better than you, can learn from him, or you have a goal, and you have someone to set a goal. And I recommend to recreational player at all levels that try to solve as many life and death problems as possible. I always recommend that because in that case you can practice your reading skills, because reading is very important when you play a game, especially in the middle game. So it can improve your reading skills, and I think even at professional level, solve life and death problem is really important. So even Park Jong-hwan, one of top player in the world right now, he loves to solve life and death problem wherever he goes. Even in the train, even in the plane, even or
everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere, public transportation, he's solving this life and death problems. That explains everything in it. That's so important. So number one, play a lot with opponents that who are at your level or slightly better than you, and try to analyze every game. Oh, I forgot to mention that actually we are talking about Lee Sedol, and his favorite thing was analyze his own game right after the match. So that was almost the only way he practiced or trained. I've never seen him, reviewing others game on the board. Almost never. So he loved to analyze or review his own game right after the match, if possible, with your opponent. And I remember one thing that it was 2008, and we participate World Tournament. I mean, it was Toyota Cup maybe, and we participated Toyota Cup in Japan, and it was a quarterfinal, and he and I lost in quarterfinal. Both of us lost, and just right after the game, he entered my room and asked me, say, "Do you have a go board?" And I said, "Yes, I have one." And he entered my room and played, started to, analyze his game, review his game, and try to find losing move. And at the time, I didn't even want to look at the board because I just lost the important match, and I was just doing other thing, watching TV, and I of course I did some analyzing with him, but he sat there for 2.5 hours to find his losing move, and then after 2.5 hours, I found one. If I had played this one, I could have win this game. That's he's that kind of person. He loved to analyze his game, review his game, his own game, especially when he lost. So I believe he was sad when he played against AlphaGo because you cannot exchange your opinion with AlphaGo. So if you pay attention, he even tried to communicate with Aja Huang. After the game, he tried to say something on, tried to, say something on the board. So analyze your game is so important, especially with AI these days. Or if you have good teacher, you can ask him to review your game. So first, play a lot of game, and second of all, solve a lot of life and death problem and analyze your game. I recommend these 3 things.
Thank you. And also, maybe I can add a fourth, is having a friend that loves reviewing, so they can pull you to review.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for the advice and answering the question, and of course sharing your 2 very interesting games with Sedol. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you have any comments of any games that you want us to review, leave it in the comments. My name is Ryan, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.